Ever seen a blazing pumpkin? In today's adventure, we're taking you to the Great Jack-O-Lantern Blaze in Old Bethpage Restoration in Old Bethpage, New York. The Great Jack-O-Lantern Blaze will run here at the Old Bethpage Restoration from late September to early November. Here's what you'll need to know about your tickets. You can only purchase your tickets online. This can be done through the Historic Hudson Valley website. And if you arrive without tickets, you can use the QR code to download the app to purchase tickets. We grab tickets to opening night and have the option of paying for standard, flex, or VIP tickets. The standard tickets are time-stamped and have multiple entry times available. The open and closing times for the event will vary by day. Adult tickets are $29 each, children 3 to 17 are $19, and children 2 and under are free. The Flex ticket would allow you to use your ticket at any time the Blaze is open, even if the evening's event happens to be sold out. Those tickets are priced at $79 each. Located on the property of Old Bethpage Restoration out in Old Bethpage, New York, this property covers 209 acres. And it is a historical site where they have preserved buildings and structures dating back to the 18th century. And this year they have the Great Jack-O-Lantern Blaze. This event is put on by the Historic Hudson Valley. The Historic Hudson Valley is an organization that's a not-for-profit. It is run up in the Hudson Valley, and it helps keep historic homes and houses up in that region available for public use. So part of the profits for this organization putting this on here will go to that cause, and it'll also go to the Old Bethpage Restoration. This walkthrough will take about 45 minutes from start to finish. Are these minions? Are those minions? There be over 7,000 pumpkins. The one thing I would want you to know is that where we came in is the only location for restrooms. So if you need to use a restroom, you want to use that right at the top of the exhibit. Otherwise, you will not have access to one until the very end, and you cannot go back.
It's like a map.
So this is Greetings from Long Island. It's a nice little map of the island. So there is a little patch of pumpkins here that have dancing skeletons. So this is a lot of fun. And this particular area leads you right off into the snacks area. So let's see what they have for snacks. The apple cider donuts are $15. The popcorn is $5. Hot chocolates $3. And assorted beverages are $3. And they have seasonal beer and wine for $10. We are continuing on, and this area of the Jack-O-Lantern Blaze looks like a fire truck all set up. There are pumpkins ablaze over our heads, and then lightning is striking this, gives us a fire, and then the fireman pumpkin puts out the fire. Every pumpkin looks like a minion to me tonight, and this one even has a little fire extinguisher. Could it get a little cuter? I love the creativity of the pumpkins. This one's a cop, and this is representing the Nassau County Police Department and the Nassau County Ambulance Department. And now we have tripped into a whole web of spiders. And the spiders are also skeletons. The creativity here is really amazing. Spiderweb is 20 feet around and filled with 200 creepy crawlies here in this area, including the large spiders. That's really cool. Oh look, it starts down there. It comes further towards us. And here we go. And there is Ichabod Crane being chased by the Headless Horseman. And here's another view. I love the way they've done this to depict motion. It's amazing. And just what has this little creepy pumpkin been up to? Looks like he ate the big pumpkin. That's a problem. Now over here, they have a whole farm situation. You have horses, there are chickens carved into the pumpkins. They are hunting and pecking their way through the pasture over here. You also have scarecrows in the form of jack-o'-lanterns up there. I see cats, scaredy cat, and spider webs projected on the back of the barn. And I think these scarecrows done up as jack-o'-lanterns would pretty much scare any unwanted pests from your garden. And in the background, you're seeing some of the 50 historic buildings that are on this property. They have barns, they have homes, they have a number of standing structures. This is something else that you can do in New York when you're here. You don't just have to stay in the city. You can come out, venture beyond Manhattan. The other thing to note is that this is a rain or shine event. So if you are going to come out to the Great Jack-o'-lantern Blaze, you're going to want to check the weather in advance before you get your tickets to make sure that you are choosing a night that is comfortable weather-wise from both the temperature and the rain. Now we have gone from the hens and the hen house and the chickens and the cats. Now we are in the flower garden. There are a bunch of tulips and roses on these pumpkins. You'll also see some cows grazing in the pasture back here. And look at this windmill made of pumpkins. And now we have run into the cemetery here at the Great Jack-o'-lantern Blaze. We have skeletons coming out of the ground here. Washington Irving over here. And this one says Abraham Brombones Van Brunt. And Catherine von Tassel on this one. And could we talk about Ichabod Crane over here in the corner? And look, here in the background is one of the historic houses. I just came back to take a second look at this. And look at the wings on top of Ichabod's tombstone. Look at the detail of the skeleton. This is, again, pretty amazing, the detail and the artistry here. We have a pumpkin. Oh, I think that's supposed to be a well. And you have a pumpkin hanging on the inside of the well, trying not to fall out. Now we are doing the Pied Piper. So we have a pumpkin piping. And look at all of the little mice that are following him. How cool. And then over here we have a doomsday clock. And look at the hour hand is actually moving backwards as it should be in a haunted clock. And on the front lawn you have Frankenstein, his bride. Over there you have Dracula. You have the Wolfman. And you also have the Swamp Thing. And in the window in the house, look at that. There's something moving from room to room. Not to mention those freakily large spiders on the front porch. Just what is happening here? And on the front lawn here, you have the innocent and unsuspecting trick-or-treaters. So this particular house is called the Hewlett House. It was built in 1794 and was moved to this hilltop. So it looks like they've actually moved the historic houses into this one location so that you get a feel for what a village or a town would have looked like back in the 18th, 19th century. And this building is actually said to be haunted. And the previous owner, the original Mr. Hewlett, is said to haunt this particular building. Isn't that pleasant? Now we are moving on to the next section called the Witch Hunt in the Hamptons. Prior to the Salem witch hunt trials in Massachusetts, 16-year-old East Hampton resident named Elizabeth Gardner Howell grew sick and accused her neighbor Elizabeth Garlick of witchcraft. Now, unlike what happened in Salem, Garlick was found not guilty and was able to return home and live a relatively peaceful life. And over here we have bats lighting up in the background. Now, I have to tell you guys, this is my idea of a scare zone. I would absolutely lose my mind. In Halloween Horror Nights, I couldn't do it. And now we have come upon the Jack Smith shop. This is where the pumpkins get made. I love the play on a blacksmith shop here. That pumpkin doesn't look too happy. And the little guy is telling me that these are just ghosts. But it looks like skeletons, pumpkin skeletons with bed sheets over them, so they look like Casper, but you can see through them. Okay, now it looks like we are going to go really deep, guys. We're going to the Amityville Horror. They're going to talk about 1975 and that horrible house in Amityville. It only took them 28 days to leave the house. So that's what the flies represent over here in the trees. They had an issue with a swarm of buzzing flies. Wow. Oh, look, there's the pig and some piglets. And we are on the other side of that graveyard. You recall on the other end you have Ichabod Crane. Let's see who rests here. We have Captain Charles Hewlett. And again, this is the Hewlett house. And then his wife, that's right, Martha Hewlett. And once again, just look at the detail in the carvings on these pumpkins. They are absolutely stunning. The artistry involved here. And look at the hearts on this one. And look at the filigree on this one. Lewis Hewlett. Now we have run into the sunflower garden. Oh, is that a caterpillar? Aw, I think that's a caterpillar. Listen to the sound of bees going in and out of the hive. I am really impressed with the great jack-o'-lantern blaze. This one does a really great job of storytelling, and it tells the story of the land, or what they're trying to represent through the land here. And look at this, Lady Liberty. There are 114 individually carved jack-o'-lanterns to include the torch here on this one. Creativity. So now they are going to do Celtic knots. So this is something I did not know. According to what we're seeing here, the jack-o'-lanterns have their roots in Irish folklore, so they are paying homage here by doing the Celtic knots. And so the legend is that stingy Jack never could get into heaven nor hell, so he carved a turnip, lit it with a candle, and wandered the earth looking for a resting place. And that is why, according to Irish folklore, we have jack-o'-lanterns. This is beautiful. The top, in case it's not coming through clearly, is just pumpkins along the top and the sides. This is amazing. Yeah. So these are all carved as stars, and this is really beautiful. Okay, so it looks like we are about to go into the barn, and this is the Long Island Hall of Fame. Oh, okay, so this is where the famous folks are carved. They have Joan Jett, who is a musician, and I didn't know she was from Long Beach, New York. Then you have Dr. J, who's from East Meadow, also out here on the island. Then over here you have Sue Bird, who plays for the WNBA. She's from Syosset, also out here on the island. Oh, you gotta love Mimi. There's Mariah Carey. Love her. And she is you. Okay, she's in Green Lawn. She's from Green Lawn, New York. Here, of course, you have the music man himself, Mr. Billy Joel. He is from Hicksville. And then you have Dee Snider, who's from Baldwin, also a Long Islander. And now we're doing the zodiac over here. What is your sign? Let us know in the comments below. Is this you? Are you an Aries? Are you a Taurus? Shout out to all my fellow Taurarians. Are you a Gemini? Are you a Cancer? Are you a Leo? Are you a Virgo? How about a Libra? Are you a Scorpio? Remember, let us know in the comments below. Are you a Sag? Are you a Capricorn? Are you an Aquarius? Are you, last but certainly not least, a Pisces? So we are proudly standing on Long Island, New York, which is home to about 25 different lighthouses, all the way out to Montauk Point, which is as far east as you can go here. So Montauk Point, which is what this particular lighthouse is replicating, it is the most famous of our lighthouses. It was a public works project commissioned back in 1792 by the Second United States Congress under President George Washington and was completed 4 years later. Isn't that amazing? So here we are at Bones Beach, and in case you're not from the area, you don't get the pun here, we have a very famous beach out this way called Jones Beach. So instead of Jones Beach, we have Bones Beach. And out here in front of the lighthouse, you have, as you would expect, all sorts of birds. You can actually, if you were here, you could hear the waves. Hopefully you can hear that in the background. And you hear the cawing or cooing of seagulls. And they even have seashells carved in some of the pumpkins. The detail here is really amazing. Oh, look, there are crabs even. Oh my goodness, guys, I think we are somehow under the sea. Is that an octopus? I think this is an octopus. Look at the dragon. Or is this a sea serpent? Since we are somehow under the sea now. Yes, look at the waves carved into the pumpkins. This is really magical. That's how I'm going to describe this, because I've used the word amazing too many times. So this is absolutely magical, everyone. Okay, now what is this creature here? No, we just saw an octopus. Oh yes, that is a squid. This one is a squid. And we have a whale. I speak whale. And in case you are wondering why they are focusing on whales here, whaling was a big business here in the 19th century for Long Island. So Sag Harbor, Cold Spring Harbor, Greenport, those are all areas out here on Long Island, as we New Yorkers call it, the island. And a lot of whaling was done in the 19th century from those harbors and ports. And so we remain under the sea. And we are under the pumpkin. As you can hear, a little screaming jellyfish. We are under the water and walking through pumpkin-based jellies. Now we are leaving the under the sea area and we are doing the circus now. We are focusing on the fact that back in 1972, the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus arrived here on the island by train. And this particular train is over 80 feet long. And then that looks like a rhinoceros, but that doesn't seem right. Should it be an elephant? Exactly what animal is that? We're all a little confused.
Someone help us in the comments below.
That's right. Somebody help us in the comments below. Is this an elephant or a rhino? Rhino doesn't feel right. Here we have the giraffe with its head poking out of its cart. Over here you have the tigers, lions, tigers, oh my. And a skeleton bringing up the rear. Hurry, hurry, step right up. You have the strong man, look at that pumpkin. Over here you have a snake charmer. And then over here you have your monster mermaid. You know, circus had its oddities and its sideshow attractions, and that's what these are representing. And this is Mr. Bindi, your contortionist over here. And last but not least, you always have a sword eater. Ooh, look at this. Now we have a pumpkin carousel. Oh, I missed this one. The strong man has gone from lifting weights to hitting the bell to let you know just how strong he is. They are representing here an old carousel that they have on the property that was reconstructed from a 19th century carousel, which was the golden age of carousels, which was from 1880 to 1930, when close to 5,000 carousels were built here in the U.S. And what would a circus be without the acrobats? The problem here, however, is someone missed. All part of the 7,000 pumpkins here at the Pumpkin Blaze. Okay, we are now going to head off into the shop where they have gifts and souvenirs and pumpkin carving. Let's take a look. Let's get a look at the merch. So you have Blaze beanies, you have pumpkin beanies, and this one appears to be $15, so we guess the rest of the beanies are as well. Oh, look! Blaze socks have hoodies, and these are $60. Then you have little ornaments here, and these are coming in at $20. You have pumpkin carving books. You have, oh, look at this, is a nice handy thing to scoop out your pumpkin if you're gonna really go all in and carve. Look, you have paper chain decorations. Oh, look, jack-o'-lantern teeth. Wait, how much are these? $4.95. If you carve your jack-o'-lantern and want to give it some teeth, there's even gloves for carving your pumpkin. And those are $14.95. These are patterns for carving your pumpkin if you're into such a thing. And these are also $14.95. There are pillows. Ooh, salted caramel. $12.95. There are cookie molds, all sorts of things for cooking. Look at the plushy pumpkins. Oh, these are so cute. Oh, but they're not as plush as you think. They're $33.75, and they're actually rather hard. They're not plushies. Oh, look at the witch hats. So these are $25. They have blankets, and now these are plushy pumpkins. That's what I'm talking about. But actually, that's a pooch in there. I don't know. And here's another plushy pumpkin. And this plushy pumpkin is $25. Featuring pumpkins. And these are $12.95. Books for the kiddos. We have included links in the description to both Old Bethpage Restoration and Historic Hudson Valley so that you can learn more about both of these nonprofit organizations and the properties that they preserve. Looking for other Halloween happenings? Check out this video on Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. We hope that you've enjoyed this walk through this year's Great Jack-O-Lantern Blaze. Comment below and let us know what some of your favorite fall activities are. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that you know when the next adventure begins. And no matter where your next adventures take you, we hope that you enjoy the journey. Bye now.